to run the train.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are focusing in on one of my favorite things to collect in the Blu-ray community-wise, and that would be the Criterion Collection. This Friday, July 10th, begins the Barnes & Noble 50% off sale that we weren't sure we were getting this year. A lot of people speculated with COVID, they're not going to do it, blah, blah, blah. They announced it. I called my Barnes & Noble just to make sure it's definitely happening. That's what they told me this Friday. And right now it's Wednesday, and I was like, I need to make a video somewhat to do with this Barnes & Noble sale. So I decided to make a video of some of the recommendations I have for you guys to pick up in the Criterion sale. If you guys are into Criterions, or if you're trying to get into Criterions, most of these movies are blind buys for me. I blind buy a lot of Criterion movies. I know a lot of people don't like to do that because of the price, but for me personally, I just feel like even the ones I haven't liked, I still have a respect for and want to watch again, except for one. There's one I couldn't get behind, and that would be Two-Lane Blacktop. But pretty much all of them, besides that, I've enjoyed on some spectrum, some aspect, and I just feel it's fun to blind buy these. I don't know. It's stupid. Don't take my advice when it comes to that kind of thing. But these are some movies I definitely think people should blind buy, and I think all of them are blind buy movies for me, and they've all paid off. So we're just going to get into it. And my first recommendation is the 60s classic 12 Angry Men. I absolutely adore this movie. It's one of my favorite of all time, thanks to the Criterion Collection. And I did do a review for this on my channel. I believe it's either my first or second review I did on my own. So definitely go back and check that out. I'll try to add an annotation up here if I can figure that out. Haven't done that in a while. But that was one of my first reviews ever, and it was the first time I ever watched this movie. So I'm really proud of it. Go check it out. It's my first review on this channel. My second movie I definitely recommend is Being There. And Being There it's a very strange movie, I have to say. It's very unexpected the way this movie is. It's a really feel-good film, and the story is so bizarre that I don't want to get into anything because I don't want to ruin it. But our main character is, I don't know like the PC correct term for it. He's a little special, a little slow. I don't know if he has like autism or something like that, but he's portrayed as someone who has some sort of mental issues. And he's such a likable, loving character, and he just goes on like an adventure, and you just follow him through life, and it's really good. I highly recommend Being There. It was the first movie I watched during quarantine, and it was so unbelievably good and fun. Next film, what is totally opposite of the spectrum, hold on, I'm dropping my phone, and that would be Eyes Without a Face. Eyes Without a Face is a thriller horror film from the 1960s, and I believe the other films that I was talking about was from the 50s, not the 60s. And Being There is from the 79. So, Eyes Without a Face, getting back on topic, is one of the most... it's just such an odd film. But it was such a... If you don't mind subtitles. If you mind subtitles, don't get this. It's in French. But it's such an odd horror film. And so... Like, it's dated, but it doesn't bother you the whole time. And I actually think I like this better than Psycho. I have to say it. I'm not the biggest fan of Psycho. But this, to me, creeped me out and gave me more of a different horror vibe than Psycho ever did. And getting into our next choice, and that would be 1994's Shallow Grave by Danny Boyle. This is still one of my favorite Criterions I own, because I'd never seen it before, like I said, And when I watched this, Ewan McGregor, the other two, Kerry Fox and Christopher Eccleston, something like that, do a phenomenal job. It's basically a movie about greed and how friendship and money and greed all go into effect with each other. And then they do some shady stuff in this movie. It's just really good watching a friendship fall apart, as horrible as that sounds. But it really is. It gets violent at times. It has good laughs, really good dialogue, and it has that Danny Boyle feel. I feel like all his movies just have this special look and feel to it, and this one definitely captivates that. And we're up to 6 minutes, so we gotta get going on this one. Christopher Nolan's only Criterion film, what he deserves more, but following. And this is up there when it comes to my Nolan ranking. I don't know where exactly it falls, but this film, it's only 70 minutes. It's his first feature film ever. And I absolutely loved it. My hand was cramping. I had to switch. It's about a guy who just follows people. Like, he literally just follows people around and watches what they're doing, and it sounds creepy, and it is creepy. And then he gets, too involved with someone that he's following, and you just get to see how everything turns on its head slowly as he keeps following people and getting a little deeper into people's lives over and over, and where it gets him in life. And I definitely recommend that one. It's very unexpected for Nolan because it's so much more simpler than all his other films, but that's why, in my opinion, it's so great. Next film in the Criterion Collection that I recommend highly is Being John Malkovich. This was one of the strangest movies I watched in so long, but it was just so good. And it also kind of has, characters that aren't doing well, and some of them are doing better than others, and then they discover this thing, and they get addicted to it. And then they start crossing lines on different people and doing the wrong thing. I don't know how to really explain it. I don't want to spoil anything. It's such a weird film. But there's one scene in general in the film that just blows me away. And it's when... minor spoiler, because it's not that important. It's just a room filled of Malkoviches. And they don't talk, they just say Malkovich. And it was just so weird that I loved it. And Spike Jonze did something special with this film. Definitely check it out. If anyone's seen it, down below, comment a better way to explain this film, but no spoilers, because you don't want to ruin it for others. But it's just very breathtaking to watch. And then, getting back on the depression line of Criterion, would be The Squid and the Whale. It's a movie about a divorce and watching a family go through that and how hard it is and how different people cope with things differently. You have two kids in this movie, Jesse Eisenberg and Owen Klein, I believe is the other kid. Jesse Eisenberg, I'm not a huge fan of him. He's a great actor. I just feel like he comes off as such a condescending kind of dick, in my opinion. But he's so good in this role as a kid struggling with his parents divorcing. Jeff Daniels does a great job. Everyone's just so good in this film. And it's a Noah Baumbach film, so I guess he made two movies about this now, because he made Marriage Story as well. And that's also coming out during this Criterion sale on the Criterion Collection. And I recommend that. I think it's a great film. I think it's really deserving of the Criterion Collection symbol on the top corner. But yeah, this one I think is a better film than Marriage Story, personally, and had better characters. And then my last item I am here to recommend, I'm going to switch back because my other hand's cramping now, is, in my opinion, you can go either way with this, but I picked up the Guillermo del Toro trilogy or trilogio. de Guillermo del Toro. I failed Spanish. But this comes with Kronos, The Devil's Backbone, and Pan's Labyrinth. I have not seen Kronos or The Devil's Backbone yet. I know. I should have watched it already. I've had this for a while. But I watched Pan's Labyrinth like the day I got this and fell in love. It's one of my favorite movies now. Of all time, in my opinion, it's probably his best film. And I was just going to get Pan's Labyrinth on Criterion, and then some guy that was at Barnes & Noble when I was buying this, we started bullshitting, and he was like, I would just go ahead and buy the box set if they have it, because you get one for $10 and the rest for $2 instead of just buying the one for $20 and then eventually buying the other two. And it made sense, and the packaging is just gorgeous on this thing. The only issue I've ever had is see how the corner ripped? It's so heavy, so like if you like have it on a shelf a certain way, the bottom starts to tear a little. So depending how you have it on the shelf, you should be fine. But it's a gorgeous set. It has a book in there, all 3 films, great images. It's definitely worth it. It's a great film. So those are my recommendations for this Criterion sale. Expect a video, a vlog. I know, first vlog in a long time of me and Sam going out Criterion shopping. Been saving up for the sale. We put some money to the side for a Criterion sale, and we are ready to go. Also, my taxes should be coming in soon, my tax return, so that's going to help, because I like I said, I go hard when it comes to Criterion collection. But said this was going to be quick. It's at 12 minutes right now. I'm so sorry for that, but like the video, subscribe, hit the bell, and let me know down below what your favorite Criterion movie is and what you're planning on getting, if you're going to get any Criterion during the sale. See you guys next time.